So let's begin our journey of going from ordinary to extraordinary. In times of major change, uncertainty and upheaval as we're experiencing at the moment, we have two choices. One, we can bunker down, keeping our heads low, hoping for things to pass and settle back down to normal. Or two, we can embrace the change and ride the waves towards the future, creating the new normal. Opting for option one is dangerous and potentially foolish and lethal, as we're likely to be left behind, achieving only obsolescence. Opting for option two is also potentially dangerous, but more likely to achieve better outcomes as we proactively look at how to navigate and make the necessary shifts and changes to stay out in front and remain relevant. One thing we know for sure is if we want to succeed at anything in this world, to find and sustain our competitive edge, we need to continually find ways to shift from the ordinary to the extraordinary. Because what was ordinary one day may become extraordinary the next, and vice versa. We only have to think about the disruptors such as Airbnb and the like. Yet going from ordinary to extraordinary is often made to sound so simple. Humans are notoriously predictable in their desire for and attraction to the quick fix. However, in this complex world and the complex worlds of elite sport and selling, there is no simple answer. For instance, Sales Trend 4 focuses on the fight between understanding and managing complexity and the desire for simple answers and actions, and why embracing and managing complexity is a vital capability for achieving the extraordinary. There are no silver bullets to save the day either. Sadly, the sales excellence industry is littered with many providers offering silver bullets. If they work at all, they're not well integrated and often short-lived. Like fad diets, they leave people little changed, disappointed, and out of pocket. The world is also full of useless distractions, the shiny new pill or app that promises perfect health or instant millions. Did you know that there are currently over 4,000 digital marketing app providers in the US vying for our attention and dollars? Annoying, I know. So what do we need to do if we want our sales teams to go from ordinary to extraordinary? First, we need to re-educate the whole of business about the central importance of selling and the customer experience to any organisation, and stop throwing our salespeople in the deep end, expecting them to sell better with no clear strategy, no value proposition or articulated sales process, limited training or no ongoing support. Instead, we need to map the whole buying, selling, delivery process and engage everyone across our businesses to support our value propositions and promises to customers, as highlighted in Sales Trend 3. If we get this right, nothing is left to chance when we know what we're doing and we do it well. We need to create prepared environments that allow for learning agility in our sales teams. Sales Trend 9 focuses on creating a visible, tangible framework that gives sales teams and their buyers orientation and direction. Ben Shute, one of our guest authors who is here today, points out, amongst other things in Sales Trend 11, that we need to show sales teams how to add value to procurement, not just respond to tenders. We need to teach sales teams how to influence the definition of value and understand that being on the preferred supplier list is no guarantee of sales success. In many businesses, we need our salespeople to transition from being product experts to being product domain experts, making them more valuable to clients, as stated in Sales Trend 5. And we need to shift the standards and frequency of sales coaching, because effective sales coaching makes change systematic and best behaviour automatic, as highlighted in Sales Trend 6. Secondly, we also need to stop perpetuating the negative stereotype of selling as if it's the only one that exists. Instead, as Sales Trend 2, the silent majority, points out, we desperately need to rethink our sales stereotypes. We need to make people aware that selling exists on a spectrum, with the devious and the dubious and desperate down one end, the ignorant, ill-informed and irritated down the other end, and the commercially savvy, collegiate and customer-centric people in the middle. I don't know about you, but I'm not interested in the devious end of the spectrum. I only want to work with the remaining parts of the spectrum, because the great news is that if we positively engage the silent majority and even those who don't think they are in sales, to support our sales effort and the customer experience, we can double, triple and even quadruple our sales efforts overnight without putting on a single new person. And there are a number of you in the room who know exactly what I'm talking about. And finally, we also need to quash the myth of the overnight success and discourage short-termism and the dumbing down of people. In 2017, Sales Trends highlights one thing and one thing only. It's the importance of learning how to think more deeply at every level and taking more purposeful action in a complex world. If we want extraordinary sales results, we need to create the conditions in which deeper thinking and analysis is endorsed over short-term knee-jerk reactions. And we need to implement support systems that encourage us to lead extraordinary sales teams, manage extraordinary sales operations, and deliver extraordinary customer experiences. So how do we do that? We need to understand what going from ordinary to extraordinary entails. And in order to do that, I have one concept I want you to consider this morning. This is a purposeful system. A purposeful system incorporates an overarching purpose, uniting strategy, process, and people, and is designed for sustained, elite, evolving, holistic performance. It can be a purposeful system in a specific domain or encompass several domains. And here we have the perfect example today. The Victorian Institute of Sport is a purposeful system. Designed and started in 1990 by Dr. Frank Pike and Deirdre Anderson with the express purpose of creating success in sport and life, the VIS was the first fully integrated elite sports performance system of its kind in the world. The VIS was designed to cater for all sports. The VIS provides a prepared environment underpinned by world-class staff, resources, methodologies and the latest research in which talented Victorian athletes have the opportunity to excel in sport and life around the world. This purposeful elite sports system has been so successful that it has actually been replicated all around the world. Whether we are thrilling in watching our fellow Australians competing for and winning medals on the world stage or winning national championships, this purposeful system is the reason why these performances are possible. And remember, its genesis was right here in Melbourne. So what does this have to do with sales teams? A purposeful system is what can lead our sales teams to extraordinary performance and results. But purposeful systems don't happen by chance, they happen by design. So let me share with you how we came to build the world's first and only complete purposeful sales system. In Christmas 1991, when I was on the back of a Kawasaki 750 touring bike as a pillion passenger, riding with my partner in life, York Schmallenbach, to Central Australia and back again, I had a lot of time to think. 7,000 kilometres of time to think. On that ride, I was contemplating what to do with my life. I had interviewed about 5,000 salespeople and managers as a sales recruiter at that point in time, and I became curious about what made for good sales performance. However, my employer of the time wasn't interested in my musings. I was at a crossroads in my career. I went searching. As it happened, I heard about the VIS, and as a former elite swimmer, I wondered if I could be of any help there. Long story short, when I returned to Melbourne some 4 weeks later, I called Dr. Frank Pike, and my now 25-year part-time relationship began with the VIS. This is also where I first became aware of and comfortable with understanding the immense power of effective systems to manage complex environments. Regrettably, over the years, I've also discovered that for too long, most organisations still only view their sales operations as tactical, linear functions of the value chain. And while sales teams need to get up close and personal on a tactical level with customers, if sales is only viewed through the overly simplistic lens of foot soldiers selling products, then these organisations are doomed to fail in the 21st century world. Instead, what my team at Barrett and I have realised is that we should happily embrace the fact that sales operations are complex, variable systems with many moving parts. They do not follow a straight line. Smart companies now recognise that oversimplification is their enemy when it comes to developing and deploying effective sales strategies, processes and sales teams. Since I started Barrett on the 9th of January 1995, I have been determined to create a complete, purposeful sales system that works for and across all businesses and industries. Over the years, my team and I have researched and experimented and toiled to unpick and understand and then put back together again the many moving parts, large and small, that make for a complete, purposeful sales system that helps people and businesses sell better. Here it is. In short, Barrett has become the VIS for sales teams and businesses. It's just not that everyone knows that yet, but you do now, and it began in Melbourne as well. Since 2014, this complete purposeful sales system has allowed many companies across industries to assess and benchmark over 17 separate core areas of their sales strategy and operational framework. This has led to focused action plans and quicker deployment of the right actions to help these businesses and their sales teams sell better and win more, even in very tough and declining markets. As complex as the VIS and our sales systems were to create, the power of these purposeful systems is in their ability to help people be clear of their purpose, assess their situation with more precision, make more informed decisions, and implement the right actions faster than their competitors. These purposeful systems create winning teams who can win repeatedly. So we have a choice as a business and sales leaders here today. We could choose to remain in the bottom left-hand corner of the quadrant where the point solution jockeys live, and we can be internally focused and apply band-aids to the major sales challenges that we face today. Or we can shift to focus and become more customer-centric to the top left, but without a system, we just have nice people who transact. We could also go the other way and implement systems, but without engaging and working with customers, we will find that our value will diminish and we will lose relevance. So why not instead create a complete purposeful sales system? That way we're more likely to go from ordinary to extraordinary time and time again. Because ordinary sales organisations do more, but extraordinary sales organisations achieve more. I trust that this has given you some food for thought on your going from ordinary to extraordinary tour and journey. So we will now have a 15 intermission. Thank you very much for your time.